In the last lesson, we learned how ERP is the backbone of companies like Apple. Now, let's turn our attention to the story of SAP, the company whose software became synonymous with ERP. Did you know that SAP was founded back in 1972 by 5 former IBM engineers in Germany? It's fascinating to think that around the same time, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak were tinkering in a garage. Apple was founded in 1976. A group in Europe was building what would become one of the world's leading business software firms. In this lesson, we'll journey through the evolution and history of SAP from its humble beginnings with punch card computers to the cutting-edge cloud systems of today. By the end, you'll see how SAP's growth and innovations over the decades laid the groundwork for the modern ERP solutions like SAP S/4HANA Cloud that companies use now, ready to travel through time and see how enterprise software evolved alongside tech giants like Apple. Let's go. Today, SAP is a giant in the business software world. Its ERP software runs the core processes of many large companies. About 85% of Fortune 500 companies rely on SAP for their operations. How did SAP become so influential? Let's explore SAP journey from a small startup to a global powerhouse. SAP's story begins in 1972 in Germany. 5 former IBM engineers, including Hasso Plattner and colleagues, founded a tiny company which was later named to Systemanwendungen und Produkte in der Datenverarbeitung, or SAP for short. In a small office, they set out to develop business software, not knowing how big it would become. SAP's first product was a financial accounting system running on mainframe computers using punch cards known as SAP R1. It processed data in real time. Any information entered became immediately available to all parts of the system, a revolutionary idea for that era. In 1979, SAP released SAP R2, an improved mainframe system that could handle more business areas and larger companies. Throughout the 1980s, SAP rapidly gained clients in various industries. By 1988, SAP had grown so much it went public on the stock market, signaling its rise as a major player in enterprise software. The early 1990s brought a huge breakthrough, SAP R3. Unveiled in 1991, SAP R3 ran on new client-server networks and had a user-friendly graphical interface. This made the software more accessible and powerful. Companies around the world quickly began adopting SAP R3 to run their core operations. In the 2000s, SAP continued to evolve. In 2003, the product name SAP R3 was rebranded to SAP ERP to highlight its focus on enterprise resource planning. SAP also expanded into new areas like customer relationship management and business analytics. During this period, SAP customer base kept growing globally, and the software became a cornerstone for businesses in nearly every industry. A major leap came in 2015 when SAP introduced SAP S/4HANA, the next generation of its business suite. S/4HANA is built on SAP's powerful in-memory HANA database, allowing much faster data processing. It also features a simpler, modern user interface with SAP Fiori apps and options to run in the cloud, reflecting modern IT trends. SAP S/4HANA set the stage for businesses to tackle big data and real-time analytics with ease. Today, SAP is fully in the digital era. SAP S/4HANA helps companies handle emerging challenges like big data, the Internet of Things, and mobile connectivity, SAP offers cloud deployments and continuous updates to keep up with innovation. After decades, SAP remains at the forefront of enterprise technology, enabling businesses to adapt quickly to digital transformation while maintaining the integrated processes it's known for. SAP's journey from a small German startup to the world's largest ERP provider underscores its significance. Today, hundreds of thousands of companies use SAP ERP to run their businesses. SAP has truly become the backbone of global business operations, and it continues to evolve with the times, ensuring that enterprises big and small can plan and manage their resources effectively. To sum up SAP's journey, in 1972, it started with a bold idea to integrate business processes in real time. Over the decades, it rode the waves of technology: mainframes R2, client server R3, the Internet era, Business Suite ECC, in memory computing HANA, and cloud S4 HANA Cloud. Today, SAP is a global giant, and its software powers hundreds of thousands of companies worldwide in virtually every industry. It's quite possible that whenever you buy an Apple product, some part of that product's journey from manufacturing to delivery was touched by an SAP system somewhere along the line. SAP's evolution shows how staying innovative is crucial. Just as Apple had to innovate from the Apple II to the Mac to the iPhone to remain a leader, SAP had to continuously reinvent its ERP systems to meet the changing needs of businesses. Now that you've seen how SAP evolved and how ERP systems have changed over time, you'll have a deeper appreciation for the modern systems we use today. In the next lesson, we'll introduce SAP S/4HANA Cloud in detail, the latest and greatest ERP offering from SAP, and you'll understand it not as an isolated product, but as the result of decades of innovation. Before we move on, think about this. Why do you think it was important for SAP and companies like it to keep reinventing their technology every decade or so? As you ponder that, you'll realize that each era of change, be it the move to cloud or the adoption of in-memory computing, was driven by businesses demanding faster, better, and more efficient ways to run. The very demands that also drive companies like Apple to keep pushing the envelope. In this lesson, we trace the evolution of SAP from a small German startup to a global software leader. We saw how SAP's history mirrors the technological revolutions of the last 50 years. Here's a quick recap of the key milestones we covered. 1972, founding of SAP. 5 ex-IBM engineers started SAP to develop real-time business software. This set the stage for integrated business computing. 1970s, 1980s, mainframe era, SAP R2. SAP's software expanded from finance into other business areas on mainframe computers, proving that one system could run multiple departments. 1990s, SAP R3 and global expansion. With the launch of R3 in 1992, SAP brought ERP to the client-server era and became the go-to solution for large enterprises worldwide. Businesses around the globe, including many partners in Apple's supply chain, standardized their operations with SAP R3. 2000s. Refinement and integration. SAP continued to improve its ERP through SAP ECC and the Business Suite, adding Internet Age capabilities and specialized modules, CRM, SRM, etc., to meet growing business needs. 2010s. In-memory and cloud, SAP HANA and S4 HANA. SAP introduced HANA for high-speed data processing and then completely reimagined its ERP with SAP S4 HANA in 2015, leveraging HANA's power. It also embraced cloud computing with solutions like S/4HANA Cloud, aligning with how modern companies consume software. By understanding this journey, you can appreciate why SAP S/4HANA Cloud, which we'll dive into next, is designed the way it is. It's built on lessons learned and technologies developed over decades. SAP's willingness to reinvent its core product from R2 to R3 to S/4HANA was crucial to its longevity, just as Apple's constant innovation from the Apple II to the iPhone to cloud services has been crucial to its success. To reflect a bit, why is it important for a company like SAP to keep evolving its technology? Consider that if SAP had stopped innovating after R3, it might have fallen behind newer tech trends like cloud computing, and businesses like Apple might have looked elsewhere for modern solutions. Similarly, think about how each major tech shift, mainframe to PC, PC to internet, internet to cloud, opened new possibilities. Companies that harnessed those shifts, like SAP did for enterprise software, enabled other businesses to improve how they operate. Well done on completing this history tour of SAP. Now you have context for how far ERP systems have come. In the next lesson, we'll zoom into the present and explore SAP S/4HANA Cloud, SAP's state-of-the-art ERP solution, and see how it builds upon this rich legacy to serve today's business needs.